Louise Upston.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. It's great to have the opportunity to speak in the third and final reading of this local government borrowing bill, because in effect what this represents is a cooperative approach to raising finance in the local government sector. But I do want to disagree with one of the comments made by a previous speaker. I don't actually believe that by reducing the cost of borrowing that we're necessarily going to see a significant increase in borrowing. And I want to explain why, Mr Speaker. It really comes on the back of other reforms that this government has done under the leadership of the Minister, Rodney Hyde. Minister of Local Government's done some fantastic work, been very widely accepted by the local government sector, and has put some reforms in place with our earlier legislative changes which actually provide better visibility, better transparency and better accountability for ratepayers, so that they're actually able to better see exactly what their council is doing, the levels of borrowing, what the borrowing's for, and actually have reports that are more meaningful and better and easier to understand. So I don't believe that just by necessarily making the borrowing cheaper, making it easier for councils to take on debt for large capital projects, I don't believe that that is going to increase the level of debt that councils take on over and above what's already expected. And that's the reality of this. There is a projection of large capital projects over the next decade or two. And so for local councils to be able to save $25 million in interest costs is quite significant. So I do want to make the point that the Minister of Local Government has done a fantastic job in this 3-year period. The local government borrowing bill is yet another example that we're pleased to be able to get over the line, and also well supported by the House, which is, I think, an important point to make, Mr Speaker. So what we're seeing councils working together. They're working together, they're focusing on what efficiencies they can gain by working together, by sharing services, and that, of course, Mr Speaker, for every one of us in this room, we understand the pressures that our constituents and ratepayers face. They'll be very pleased, Mr Speaker, to see this bill passed, because the impact on them is it will reduce the burden of their rates in the years ahead. Thank you, Mr Speaker.
Honourable Nanaia.